open up with a few comments and then we'll open the floor for questions.
We came second tonight, and I just think South Africa played magnificent. They played a really physical game. They started strong and put us under a lot of pressure, and deserve a big pat on the back for that performance. So congratulations to them, to us. As we go into a World Cup, it's a very clear reminder about the importance of set piece, importance of getting your scrum and line out right, and maintaining your discipline and making sure you don't give teams repeated sort of cracks at you. So I thought the first 20 minutes our defence was actually outstanding, and we were hanging in there, but we just kept giving them another shot at us, and we were just trying too hard, and we gave them a really good opportunity. We couldn't actually get away from that. So a great performance by them, and one that we'll take a lot of lessons from.
And does it feel like this is a real setback 2 weeks out from the start of the World Cup?
No, I don't think so. I think we've got a good lesson there from a team who played really well up front. We've got a lot of confidence with how we've been tracking in that area, but you can't deny that it wasn't a good performance from us, and so we're just got a couple of weeks to get that right, but fully believe we can.
After all the talk over the past couple of weeks of shoulder-to-head contact, how disappointing to see Scott be sent from the field for that, and do you expect to lose him for some World Cup games as well?
I'm not sure. We'll just have to see what the process is. I mean, he got yellow carded for it, and it looked like he was cleaning the guy on the left and hit the guy on the right. So we'll see what comes out of that. But we'll just go through the process. They might expect him to. I don't know. We'll just see how we deal with that.
And between Scott getting sent off with the red and Tyrell going down, was this almost a case of your worst fears being realised?
Yeah. I think we're getting constant questions all week about how do you feel about the game and all that, but it's a contact game and it is what it is. So we went in, but clearly it was one of those games. There was massive disruptions, wasn't there? And we were hanging in there and didn't really get a chance to put them under pressure, and then all of a sudden we ended up losing Scott, and playing them with 13 players. I thought we were actually quite courageous there, but we just couldn't keep 15 on the platform. So not a good team to do that with.
I realise it's obviously not long after final whistle now, but are you able to put your finger on why things went so wrong tonight?
Well, like I said, I think rugby is quite a simple game. You've got to get your platforms right, and we didn't. And that's an attack and defence. And defensively, we were, I think, over anxious, over keen. We got Warnford going early on the line-out mauls all the time, and that just obviously showed. We'll have another good look at that. But clearly, we were a little bit too keen and anxious. So good lessons. And then in the second half, when we made a whole lot of changes, it was a young pack, and you could see them trying hard, but we lost our cohesion. So I'd rather have those lessons today, a couple of weeks out, than in a fortnight.
And have you got an early assessment on Tyrell and also Ethan? I know he went back out and played, but how are they both doing?
Tyrell's pretty bad actually. He's got quite a big cut. It's right through into the muscle, thigh. We've got a little bit of a concern with some of the sharp plastic blade stuff that's happening at the moment, so we'll have to check which boot that came from. Certainly wasn't deliberate, but it's Bodie got cut with the same sort of thing, so we'll have to check that out. But he's not in a great way, and a few other dings, a few sore people, but that often happens when you go down to 14 and you're chasing the game working hard.
Is Tyrell out of the World Cup?
I don't know. I would doubt it. But.
Sam, in a team that's noted for accuracy, especially around the breakdown, to see 12 penalties in the first 10 minutes, 15 penalties in the first half in total, and some of those penalties for the same offence time and time again. Were you getting frustrated? What was the sort of message that you were talking around the line at that breakdown period? What was your message to the team?
Yeah, look, it felt like, I think for that first 20 minutes we didn't really get out of our own 40. So, look, on one hand, we're talking about outstanding effort and attitude, desire, willing to put our body on the line, get up for each other and go again and again, but at the same time give another crack because of some of those repeated infringements. And look, I think once at the ball, you're looking at split seconds. It's a fine line, and we were just on the wrong side of that. But you're right, it is frustrating when we're having repeat infringements.
Interpretation,
Yeah, can I
or
say it's also-
something going on technically there?
It's also hard to not go early if jumpers have been thrown across the line.
Was that an interpretation thing, or adjustment to North Hemisphere refereeing, or what did you put that down to?
We identified, I think, on the second ball that about bringing the line out jumper across. So I let the referee know that's what we were feeling. And yeah, look, we made adjustments after that. Another one after.
Ian, is the heaviest ever defeat, which is obviously just a stat, but does that not tell the full story? The fact that obviously, when you had sort of opportunities, you did show a lot of ambition in trying. You did sort of throw a lot at them. In different circumstances, like at 15 on the field, would you think it would be a different outcome?
Well, I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. Look, I think we, it's one of those games. They clearly put us under a lot of pressure early and deserved that first try, but it took them a lot longer than I probably expected. Then the second try was frustrating. We gave up two situations that we were actually fighting our way out, created good line breaks, and then some pretty careless offloading that gifted them a couple of situations, and that really hurt us. And so, but I think we created some opportunities. I think there's no denying that, but it was hard work for them, and again, the South Africans didn't let us off the hook. They kept coming at us through our set piece, and they just kept squeezing it, and they didn't. We probably needed the game to loosen up, and when it did, we looked good, and we could spread them out. But you've got to get your ball supply, and they were too good for us in that area. So, number one, work on.
And the stud blade issue, I mean, is that a sort of general problem, or things maybe?
It's just a second cut. We've had pretty significant cut, so we're just going to go and check it because look, it's no question accidental. But we've just got to make sure that we're looking after our players.
From the point of view of moving into the World Cup, also covering the Rugby Championship, there's been such a turnaround between yourselves, Argentina have come to the party, Australia have come to the party at times. How healthy do you think that top 4 or 5 is coming into the World Cup? And how do you think you're going to respond to the challenges of France, who you've not played yet, and also responding to that South African thing today? It's all very tight at the top.
Yep. It is, but it wasn't tight out of Twickenham tonight. So, it wasn't as tight as we wanted it to be. Look, it's we've always known you've got to be your best, and I thought they were, and we weren't, and so we'll go away and have a look at that. But reality is, it's if you could choose one trophy that wasn't on your cabinet at the end of the year, it'd be that one. And so it's not going to dampen us in what we're doing, but we certainly got an uppercut today, and we've got an uppercut in a couple of areas of the game that we've actually been making some big strides. And so our line at scrums won, our discipline, we've been really good in that place, but we got squeezed today and exposed to a couple of habits that we've got to sort out. But great time for that to happen, and it also reiterates you've got to keep your players on the park, and losing probably our form lock at that stage of the game against South Africans doesn't make life any easier.
Sam, what was happening in the scrum? Felt like guys were off the back foot pretty early.
Yeah, look, it's it has been an area that we've been really good at. We sort of won us the test match in Dunedin pretty much, and it was hard for me to pinpoint what was going on up front. We were trying to, as always, be very solution focused out there, but they were getting a really good hit. The pressure was constant, and we were finding it hard to sort of maintain our shape and grind it out together. So, along with winning our line-up ball, that'll be number one focus to the role.
And as was mentioned before, this is the worst loss in the entire history of the All Blacks. How disappointing is it to go from where you were coming off 5 good wins to be sitting here now dealing with that?
Yeah, look, it's a test match at the end of the day. It's the opportunity that the 23 of us have to fly on an All Black jersey and go out there and do ourselves a nation proud. We certainly felt like we've come up short tonight, but we've got to make sure we use this as a positive. We've got to look at our own games, look at it, and find ways to get better, and we can use this, find some good from it, even though it's things at the moment.
Coach, same question.
Well, I don't feel they're good, but I think we also know the circumstances we're in. We know the goal that we're looking for, and I think with World Cup years and the build up to World Cups, every team goes through different phases. Like we with the Rugby Championship, we went strong and we wanted to build combinations, and then we've had a decent gap leading into this game. South Africa took a while to build their team, coming down from the Northern Hemisphere and playing, so they took a while through this. And they've been, if you look at their game against Wales and this, they're obviously just starting to get their peak going. So, we've got 2 weeks now. We're going to go into a World Cup we're pretty excited about. It's probably, that performance is going to take a lot of heat off us, and no one's going to rate us down, which is why we must all just go and prepare quietly and get stuck in.
All happy? Well, last one from me. Sam, just from the perspective of coming up to the Monosphere, playing this game at Twickenham, incredible crowd, 80,000 people. What's your kind of reflections of coming here on a neutral venue, and would you like to see the experiment repeated again? Because from our side, we thought it was fantastic, although you didn't get the result, obviously.
Yeah, look, as a team, we're pretty excited about playing the Box. The team got a huge amount of respect for and a neutral venue, I suppose, but it's quite a iconic stadium, so we're looking forward to the experience. It's turned out to be a bad one for us, but look, I don't know if it works in with the schedule and calendar. Then yeah.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Yeah, coming in.